Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano, and I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is green chefs. As many of you know that follow me or that have been into my restaurant is green certified. We have a third party coming in to certify what we're doing to make our green claims. Okay, so they check my invoices. They make sure it's everything from chemical usage or non-chemical usage, actually, to lighting, to water usage, to composting, recycling, to a portion of my menu being dedicated to vegetarian and vegan selections, and then to the parts that the food that's actually on my menu, making sure that a good part of it's organic, that a good part of it's local, that a good part of it's from small farms. So there's so many facets to be classified as a green restaurant. Okay, it's just not something that I'm claiming. And you see a lot of chefs that do this, what's called greenwashing, where they say, "Oh, we're green, we're green." I see it all the time. "Oh, we're green." Then why the hell are you handing out styrofoam to-go containers? Why are you buying like toxic inorganic sugar? Why are you just buying run-of-the-mill table salt? Why is there tons of like big brands in your restaurant? Why are you supporting the big guys? Why are you supporting General Mills? Why are you supporting all these IBP and all these big companies? It's a whole picture being green. So here's something that I found just the other day, because I was doing a Google search for, I forgot what it was. Ecorazzi, E-C-O-R-A-Z-Z-I, Ecorazzi.com. 10 green chefs you should follow online is the title of the article. And it rolls into Alice Waters. Of course, Alice Waters, she was the pioneer, really, the person who made the whole farm-to-table scene, the person who was out there, the person who really understands what's going on. I think that's a great choice for this, to be on here. I think she's a really great choice. But then as we go down, we get Michael Symon, the food star, the Food Network star. So I went through and looked through his website, and you know, he's done stuff for farms. He's hosted Farm Aid. You go through his menu, and he really lists nothing on his menus about local farms, nothing whatsoever. And the big thing that this article is stating, they list all these chefs, and they're like, "Oh, big supporter of local farm, big supporter of local farms, uses local farms, local farms." So as I went through Michael Symon's menu, I couldn't see any local farms on his menu. So I actually called him and said, "Okay, let me call his burger place." Turns out that they did verify. I was satisfied with the answer on the phone that they were using a grass-fed meat. It wasn't local. Neither was the bacon. They really couldn't verify the bacon was hormone-free or antibiotic-free, actually. They couldn't verify it was nitrate-free. So if you're a green chef and you're using farm to table and you're a green chef, you should be using nitrate-free bacon. I'm not saying he's not, but they couldn't answer my questions when I called. And they ended up getting a chef or something, and he said, "Oh, our meat's from Pat LaFreda. It's grass-fed. It's really grass-fed." It seemed to give me an answer. But here's the thing: if you're saying you're green, if you're getting a green award, or if you're using grass-fed meat, put it on your menu. List the farm. Menu transparency is so important. When I go out, the more information you list on the menu, the more legitimate I know you are. Am I buying a burger, or am I buying a grass-fed burger from XYZ farm? Right? So the menu transparency is so important. Now, some restaurants don't list it because they're switching farms, they're switching producers. And they're really not going, when chefs say, "We're buying from this local farm," doesn't mean the chef's driving there and picking up from the farm, or the farmer's driving to pick it up from the farm, or the farmer's driving, dropping it off at the restaurant. It just means, maybe it means that we're buying it through a distributor. And that producer might be available at the time, but when that producer's not available anymore, we're going to switch to the next best source or the third best source or whatever. So they're just like going around and buying. They might be buying from a group of local farms. So there's nothing wrong with that. But this whole connection of farm to table, a lot of times the farmer's not driving to the restaurant. A lot of times he is, but a lot of times the farmer's not driving to the restaurant, because a lot of vendors stock all of these, or a decent vendor, food distributing vendor, will have a list of local farms, especially the produce guys. So Michael Symon, maybe it's an okay pick. I mean, maybe I don't know enough about it to criticize. Wolfgang Puck. So I don't know Wolfgang Puck to be green. Now somebody, he supposedly has this thing green now. So I clicked the link, found it. It's a list of all of his restaurants. And as I'm going through his restaurants, there's nothing green that I can see about Wolfgang Puck. Nothing green. And you know, it says here his famous Spago restaurant. He's also a leader in the restaurant industry who stands by green philosophy when it comes to his food. Well, you know, I looked at his menu, and he's using commodity beef, okay? He's using farmed salmon. There was nothing special that stood out in his menu and said, wow, this is a farm to table, this is a menu, any of these menus. And I've been in Spago before, and they lied to me about their wild salmon. It was farmed salmon, it was out of season. I called them out on it, and the partner, Wolfgang Puck's partner, came to the table and thanked me for catching their so-called typo. Really? No, you just don't know what you're doing, you're just putting the word wild out there. So nobody, you know, who's checking this guy? So green now is his own thing. I mean, great that he wants to make a change, he wants to educate people, to bring it to the spotlight, but you have to back up your actions. The next one is Emeril. I went on his website, you know, it says he's become a leader for those who want to eat healthier and move toward food that is better for the environment. I don't know Emeril as being healthy. Am I missing something here? I mean, I've seen an Emeril taping, the Emeril Live. I mean, I've watched his stuff. I've seen his books. Has he turned the corner? Has he changed? Is he cooking healthy all of a sudden, or is he doing a couple dishes that are healthy? See, there's a difference between a chef that's healthy, that's doing it on his whole menu, that's focused on his whole menu, as opposed to a chef that's just saying, well, here's 2 token items that are going to be healthier. You know, so here's my menu that's all the bad ingredients, all the unsustainable ingredients, all the high fat, high calorie, whatever it is, okay, that we consider unhealthy. And then they take those like one menu item and say, well, here's our light version, you know, because we're changing the way people are eating and thinking about food. If you're changing the way people are thinking about eating about food, do it on your whole menu. Don't be afraid, just do it. Source better ingredients for everything on your menu, not 1 or 2 items, right? Jose Garces is on here. You know, I looked at his stuff. It was just okay. It was his menus. I mean, nothing stands out about these chefs being green. Why would I want to follow these chefs from being green? Jamie Oliver. You know, that might be a good choice because he's out there and he's educating and he's really in the spotlight. I don't know anything about his restaurants or anything or what exactly he's doing beyond TV. I know he has gained a significant amount of weight in the recently, if you've seen that. So I don't know really how healthy his food is, and his wife is making excuses for him. You know, it's his schedule. He doesn't get good food on the road and this and that. When I travel, I eat good food. I eat whole, real whole foods, plant-based whole foods. I go to a health food store like Whole Foods or something else, and I stock up on stuff, and I eat. When I was doing some filming back in the fall, I said, this is what I need. I told the producer, this is what I eat. This is what I do. This is what I eat, and they got it for me. As simple as that. Okay. And I'm no big star. I'm not even a star, but I was doing some filming with a production company, and this is what I eat, and they got it for me. Simple as that. They got it for me. So I don't know, and I still had time. We were filming all day, going in through the night, and I still had time to get up in the morning and run 3 miles before I had to be on the set again. So I'm not sure what he's talking about. I do a lot of traveling, and I'm able to eat healthy, and I'm still able to run. So now, the last person on here is Ani Phyo. Now, there's a few chefs that I missed in here. A couple of vegan chefs that I think were good choices. Tal Ronan, Moshowitz, Isa Moshowitz. But the last choice down here, let me scroll down. Beverly Bennett. She has a vegan book out there. So about half the choices were like really good, and half the choices were like, why are these chefs on there? Are they on there because they're a big name, because Emeril made a statement or did 1 or 2 things, or because Wolfgang Puck says, oh, I'm going to buy from some local farms in there? Wolfgang Puck has tons and tons of restaurants. They're not all buying. The Cisco truck pulls up there. Okay, so, and the last person is Ani Phyo. I like Ani Phyo. I have all of her so-called cookbooks because she's a raw foodist. Her recipes are so simple, so clean, very straightforward. Her TV, her YouTube channel is so precise and clean. The recipes are easy. They're just, it's easy. I like what she does. Ani Phyo, A-N-I-P-H-Y-O. I would say out of all the chefs on here, that she would probably be my favorite pick of really being a true green chef. I mean, all she does is healthy, raw food. It's all plant-based. She's very inspiring. That's what her mission's been all along. You know, you look at like Wolfgang Puck, his mission is wherever the money is, okay? He'll sell cookware, he'll sell whatever. Emeril Lagasse, their mission is where the money is. You know, so they're tied into sponsorships, they're tied into the money. People go to their restaurants. They don't go to the restaurants for healthy, green, organic food. They just don't do it. So here's my biggest complaint with Ecorazzi. You know, you stressed on a lot here that these people use farm to table. Farm to table isn't enough to be classified as green or to be thought as green. It's not enough. Healthy by itself is not enough. You need to respect the community you're in, which farm to table, the whole premise of supporting local kind of does support and respect your local community. But what happens when you don't buy foods from your own community? You're disrespecting a community somewhere across the world. So whether you're buying slave labor chocolate, which all these guys do, they're buying mostly slave labor chocolate from Africa. It's Belgium, right? It's from Belgium. It's fancy chocolate. It's from Africa. That's where chocolate grows. The Belgium company is just the one that's processing it, okay? So don't get confused with Belgian chocolate as being some mystique, something. It's coming from somewhere. It's coming from South America or it's coming from Africa. The majority of the chocolate supply in the world comes from Africa. There's slave labor. There's unfair labor. They put young boys to work in the fields. They don't go to school. So if you're a green chef and you're serving bad chocolate, what do you get like a mulligan? Do you get a pass because you're serving one of the worst ingredients? Are you serving toxic white sugar? Most of these guys are buying big brand sugar, right? They're putting it on their tables, they're putting it in their pastries. Big brand sugar is so polluting. Again, young boys, young kids work in these plantations. It's very, very toxic, very polluting. So it's not like, it's like, okay, so here's chocolate and here's sugar, the two of the things that go in dessert items. What kind of, a lot of places use cornstarch, right? They have to use cornstarch. Is it GMO cornstarch? Are you buying ARG? Are you buying a big brand? So are you buying farm salmon? A lot of these cases, these chefs were buying farm salmon. Michael Symon had wild salmon on his menu, but a lot of these chefs were buying farmed salmon. Farmed salmon, go to my nofarmedsalmon.com, nofarmedsalmon.com. You'll see the detriments that farmed salmon causes around the world. But because these chefs aren't located where they're farming salmon, where they can see the effects, they're still buying farmed salmon. So it's disrespecting some community somewhere across the world. And I can go on and on with all the ingredients. Are they buying Anheuser InBev products? Are they buying Diageo products? Are they supporting these big companies that are fighting the food change? Chances are they are. I don't give money to Anheuser-Busch. They have 200 brands. Diageo has 200 brands of scotches, whiskeys, beer. Guinness is in that portfolio. I'm buying from companies, whether they're locally or globally, that are supporting a family. We know where our salt comes from. We've met the owners of the salt mine. We know where our sugar comes from, our coconut sugar. She's been into my restaurant. She's from Bali. We know these things. We know where all this stuff is coming from. Every dollar I put out there is with respect to where it's going to the producer. Am I perfect? I'm not perfect. Am I 100%? No. Am I 93%, 95%? Yes. Am I more conscious than any other chef out there? Most chefs, 99% of the chefs, I'm more conscious than that. These chefs are not conscious. It's all about the money. It's all about the business. It's all about getting a location. Wolfgang Puck doesn't. It's about getting a new location, a new place, licensing his name, putting his name on something. Wolfgang Puck doesn't own all those Wolfgang Puck cafes, express bars, stuff like that. It's his license. It's his name there. He's leasing his name out. Okay? How can you be green and be in a status like that and just be all about the money and just doing that? I think Ecorazzi really needs to get some higher standards here. They should have started with chefs from restaurants that are green certified. There's a lot of other chefs. Rouge Tomate, New York City, that Belgian restaurant, phenomenal restaurant. Dan Barber should have been on this list. But maybe they did this list because they wanted to get celebrities or higher ranking chefs. But they should have done real chefs that are doing a real green job, that are actually getting audited, that are really that's not about the money for them, okay? Yeah, it's about the money because you have to make money for business, but I don't make decisions based upon I can make more money, because I'd be serving Budweiser, because I can make a lot of margin on Budweiser. I'd be serving Coke. We don't serve Coke, we serve organic agave sweetened sodas on the gun with no corn syrup. These chefs, you think Emeril's serving that? He's serving big brand Coke. It's amazing. So, big bad choice here. Ecorazzi, really a big disappointment. You need to really tighten up your reins, tighten up your standards for picking green chefs. So that's my rant on this. Ecorazzi, not such a good job on picking that. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my video, please hit like, subscribe to my channels, and definitely pass it on.